Hello and welcome to My Piano Method with me, Michelle Orp. This is my beginner to grade course, lesson 20. Lesson 20, that means you have reached the end of module 4 and the end of the course, which is an absolute huge achievement. To get this far is just fantastic, and it means that you've learned so much to add to your piano playing. You've got a really good grasp now of what it means to read music and understand how to play music as well. And for those of you that want to take an exam or just study for an exam, then this is the moment for you to understand what you have to do. So in this lesson, I'm going to take you through the ABRSM exams. So we'll look at all the scales that you need to know and at what speed you'll need to play them. We'll look at the pieces and how you pick your pieces and how many you need to play. We'll also look at all the technical exercises and oral exercises as well that you need to do in ABRSM. And we'll take a look at the sight reading requirements as well, because in an exam you will need to show that you can sight read sheet music. So I'll take you through all of that now. If you're not interested in taking an ABRSM exam, then you can look at my other lesson 20 lesson, which is for rock school, and I take you through everything you'll need to know in a rock school exam. If you're not taking the exam, then why not watch the lesson, because it will give you a good oversight of everything you've learned and everything that you would need to do to be at a graded level. So let's take a look. So if you're thinking about taking an ABRSM exam, there's two options open to you. The first one is taking a practical exam at an exam location in front of an examiner. Now for the initial grade, this would have 4 sections to it. You would need to pick 3 performance pieces that you have to learn from the syllabus. You would also have to learn all of the scales and arpeggios for an initial grade. You would also have to do some sight reading, and you would have to do some oral tests. But if you suffer from nerves or you can't physically get to an exam centre, there is a second choice open to you, and this is called a performance grade. And you can actually film your exam at home and send it in to ABRSM by uploading it to their website, and it will be graded by an examiner from there, which is just a fantastic thing for so many people, because it might be that you can't physically get to an exam centre, or it might be that you're just too nervous to play in front of other people, but you still want to be able to achieve that exam certificate for being able to play. So it is a really great option. Now, if you are doing a video exam, then you don't have to do any of the technical or oral exercises. All you have to do is learn your pieces of music. So underneath this video, I have given you a link to the ABRSM website, which explains exactly how to take a video exam. It gives you all the guidelines so you know exactly what to do, and then you'll be able to book your exam and upload your performance. So it's totally up to you which type of exam you choose to take. So the first thing you'll need to do is pick your pieces, and this is the most fun part of the exam. Now the ABRSM does update their syllabus every couple of years, so you need to make sure you're picking your pieces from the current syllabus, and you can see which syllabus this is on the ABRSM website. Now your 3 pieces will be picked from 3 different lists. So you have list A, list B and list C, and you have to pick 1 piece from each list. And the reason they do this is because there are different types of pieces in each list. So list A pieces are generally faster moving and require technical agility. List B pieces are more lyrical and invite expressive playing. And list C pieces reflect a wide variety of musical traditions, styles and characters. So you can go online and listen to all of the pieces that are in the syllabus and pick which ones you like the most. And then it's just practice, practice, practice. Now you have learned everything that will come up in these books. So you should be able to look at these pieces, go through them in depth and know exactly what you need to do and how you need to play. Just make sure you break it down, you go bar by bar, and you make sure you've taken in all the information. And listen to other people playing this piece online, because that will give you an idea of how it should sound once you've finished. Okay, so after this, after you've picked all your pieces, you need to start to learn all your scales. Now, the scales and arpeggios you're going to be doing in the initial grade for ABRSM are going to be much more simple than what you've been doing in this course. So you should be all over this. You will not have much to do here. You'll be able to do all of these scales and arpeggios without a problem, as long as you've been practicing them with each lesson, which hopefully you have been. So let's have a quick look at everything you need to do here. So we're doing the C major scale, and this is hands separately at 54 beats per minute. So let's take a look at the C major right hand and left hand. You will also need to play a D minor scale. Now, we have gone through these, and remember there are 3 different variations: the natural minor, the harmonic minor, and the melodic minor. So you can play any you like and just let the examiner know which one you're going to do. We have covered all these, so you should be able to play these 3 scales. If not, just revisit that lesson. And these are played at 54 beats per minute. D natural minor in the right and left hand. D harmonic minor in the right and left hands. D melodic minor in the right and left hands. Next, we have the C major contrary motion scale, and this is actually easier than what you've been learning with me on this course, because we've learned the whole octave. Actually, in the exam at this level, you only need to go up to the G. It's just a fifth. So we'll be going from C to G and back to C again. So this should be nice and easy for you. C in contrary motion of a fifth. Next, we have our arpeggios. Now, again, these are actually more simple than what we've been doing, because we only have to do an arpeggio of a fifth. So for the C major and the D minor arpeggios, you'll be playing at 52 beats per minute and just going up by a fifth, not the full octave. But let's take a look at how they sound. C major arpeggio of a fifth in the right and left hand. D minor arpeggio of a fifth in the right and left hand. So that's it for scales and arpeggios, and you know all of these. Make sure you're playing them from memory and make sure you're playing them nice and legato. We need these notes as even and as smooth as possible to get full marks in an exam. So next, if you are taking an exam at an exam centre, you will be expected to do some sight reading. Now this is a very small piece of music that you have never seen before. You'll be given 30 seconds to look through it and maybe practice it if you can, and then you'll be expected to play it. There may be some fingering suggestions in the music, but they're guidance only, so you can use whatever fingers you like. Now at this level, it's going to be either 4 bars of music or 6 bars. And the time signatures you'll be looking at are 4/4 or 2/4. Now 4/4 is 4 quarter note beats in a bar, and 2/4 is 2 quarter note beats in a bar. Remember, quarter notes are also called crotchets. Now the key signatures you'll see at this stage for your sight reading are C major or D minor. So with the D minor, all you have to remember is that there is that B flat in there. Now your hand positions will just be 5 fingers spread out, and you won't be expected to do any big jumps or find any notes that are really off the stave. It will be really simple. Far more simple than the stuff I've been getting you to play in this course. And other features that may be included, the note durations you'll be using will be half notes, quarter notes and eighth notes. You may be seeing some semi-brief rests, so this is whole note rests, so you might see a couple of those in there. As far as articulation is concerned, you'll likely see legato or staccato. And as far as dynamics is concerned, at this level you'll probably see forte or piano, so this is loud or quiet. So you need just to practice sight reading to become good at this. You can buy so many books on sight reading, and I really do recommend you do get yourself one and practice this as often as possible. Here are some examples of an initial grade sight reading test. You would just get the one line. So 4 bars, or the line at the bottom is in 2/4 time. You can see there's 6 bars there, but there's only 2 beats on each bar because it's in 2/4 time. But that one, number 3, is in a D minor D minor key signature, because you can see that flat there, which could be the F major, of course. But as I explained before, we take a look at how the piece starts and finishes, and you can see here it does start on a D and finish on a D. So this is telling us this is most likely to be the D minor, not the F major. But we happen to know this will be D minor because in an initial grade sight reading exercise, you'll only get C major or D minor. So why don't you give these a go? And I really do strongly recommend you get yourself a sight reading book and practice this, because this will be fantastic for your playing just as a player for yourself as well. So the last thing you'll need to do if you're going into an exam centre to take your exam is your oral tests. And we did these in the last lesson. We did these in lesson 19. So do make sure you go through all of those exercises, because you will be expected to do all of these 4 things in the exam. Of course, if you're taking just a performance exam, you won't have to do any of this stuff. But do go through those exercises because they are very handy and they will really help you with your playing and musicianship going forward. Okay, so that's everything you need to know if you want to study for an ABRSM Initial exam. You need to be practicing, practicing and practicing. It takes months to get ready for an exam. You need to be on top of all your scales that you need to know. Make sure you're playing your pieces beautifully and exactly as they're written on the sheet music, and be practicing those exercises for the oral exercises as well. And of course you've got your sight reading part of the exam, so make sure you're practicing sight reading. You can purchase lots of different books that give you basic initial grade sight reading exercises to follow, and I'll have some here as well for you. But the main thing is enjoy it. Enjoy it. You don't have to take the exam, but I really hope maybe you'll give it a go. And if you don't want to go and perform in front of a teacher at a live exam centre, the beautiful thing at the moment is that you don't have to. You can do your own exam at home, and you just have to video it. You video yourself, as long as it's a continuous video without any edits at all from start to finish, you can video yourself playing your pieces and doing your technical exercises and send that in to be graded. And if you're not interested in technical exercises or oral exercises or any of that stuff, you can do something called a performance certificate, which means you just play the songs. That's all you do, play the songs that you love and forget about everything else. So there really is something for everyone. That is the end of my beginner to grade course. Thank you so much for coming along with me for the ride. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope I've been able to give you an insight into this wonderful world of the piano. And most importantly, I really, really hope you carry on playing. And I would love to hear about how you get on in the future as well. So stay in the group and keep us updated. Thank you very much for taking my beginner to grade course, and I hope to see you in my Chord Jammer course.